Wow, just look at this. You are looking live at Eagle Pass, Texas, where a record 12,006 migrants across the border in a single 24-hour period. There have never been more. Write it down in pencil. And desperate times apparently call for desperate measures. Wait till you hear what Texas is doing now, because it says Washington is doing nothing now. We are now. You know, the numbers are staggering, and they keep changing day by day. Another record, another day, but these are numbers heretofore thought impossible to get to, that you couldn't possibly get in.
No, I don't like this guy, but you have to hear this.
The Fox's Bill Belushi was at the southern border. What's behind the wave and what they're doing to address the wave? Bill.
Well, Neil, the situation at the southern border has got so bad that multiple sources tell me Federal Bureau of Prisons personnel have been sent down here to help Border Patrol with transportation of illegal immigrants. The Bureau of Prisons confirming this for me in a statement just 30 minutes ago, where they confirm they are providing transportation resources, and they tell me those resources are, quote, limited. We'll show you why they're doing it. Take a look at this video in Eagle Pass as we speak right now. Our drone live above Eagle Pass, where still today masses of migrants are waiting to be apprehended by Border Patrol, waiting to be processed after they crossed illegally. As of this,
and Mayorkas says the border is secure.
1,000 migrants in custody already, and we're still trying to transport and process another 4,500. We're talking almost 10,000 migrants they've been dealing with in the last couple of days.
Let me pause this for a second.
It only has a population of 30,000.
Okay, this is for all the ass clowns, and you know who I'm talking to, who think that I just post negative videos. I post this stuff because I bet you, how many of you don't even know that this is happening now? How many of you don't know that all of these illegal immigrants that have come into our country are going to break the back of the middle class? Who's going to pay for all of them? Yes, you and I, our taxpayers' money is going to pay this. They're going to tax us out of our homes. They're going to tax us out of our small businesses. They're going to tax the shit out of us. This is all a plan by the Biden administration, Obama's third term, to take down America. Okay? Now this is the God's honest truth, so watch it and learn something.
So you can imagine the impact it's having on that town, and that is why Governor Abbott decided he felt he had to take action. Take a look at this video. Yesterday, he signed SB 4 into law in the state of Texas. What is SB 4? Well, people are calling it one of the strictest immigration laws in the modern U.S. history. What does it do? It allows Texas authorities to arrest and jail anybody they suspect crossed illegally into the state of Texas. It then goes even further and allows those authorities to seek deportation of those people. The bill is supposed to take effect in March of next year. However, the ACLU just announced today they are suing Abbott and Texas over that legislation, so that will now be going to court. Lastly, we'll bring you out here to Lukeville, Arizona, where we are once again. Deja vu. Early this morning, another mass illegal crossing. A lot of single adult men from around the world came through a breach in the border wall, crossed illegally, and were escorted by Border Patrol up to an outdoor processing center. Again, they are coming in from all over the globe. A lot of men from Africa, some of the guys we talked to from Liberia, Guinea, Senegal, others from Bangladesh. This Tucson, Arizona sector had more than 3,000 illegal crossings in the last 24 hours alone, as here and Eagle Pass are both inundated with illegal crossings. And back out here live, Neil, just last week, Arizona's Democratic governor, Katie Hobbs, announced that she was sending the National Guard down here to the southern border, to the Lukeville area, because
just to do processing.
The federal government is failing to secure the border. Well, we've been out here this week, Neil. We have not seen one National Guard soldier down here.
Yep, it's all bullshit.
Where they're at, but we have not seen any soldiers down here. We'll send it back to you.
Incredible, Bill. Thank you very much, Bill Belushi. Now, reaction from the White House and how they are addressing all of this. For that, we go to Jackie Heinrich. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Neil. The press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, would not say whether the president supports a lawsuit by the ACLU to try to take down this new Texas law, or whether the president would support additional action from the Department of Justice. But she did say this.
This is an extreme law that will not and does not make the communities in Texas safer. This is what we see from particular Republicans trying to dehumanize a group of
No, they're not. They're trying to save America.
or some of them trying to migrate here, and they're putting them in harm's way.
The new law.
No, by Joe letting them come in
Abbott
puts them in
allows
harm's
state
way.
Law enforcement to arrest people suspected of crossing the border illegally, giving local police powers that have been long reserved for federal officials. It's set to take effect in March and would make re-entry into Texas a new state crime, punishable by up to 20 years in prison. Abbott said that Texas had to make these new laws because President Biden refuses to enforce the existing ones, and, quote, Biden's deliberate inaction has left Texas to fend for itself. Meantime, today, officials also defended President Biden over bipartisan criticism that he didn't take a greater role in trying to move border policy negotiations forward over the last 2 months while he was pushing to get this emergency supplemental to ensure aid to Ukraine and Israel. Karine pointed to Biden's day one proposal to fix the immigration system, but we don't yet know at what point the president is going to get more personally involved in these negotiations.
Yes.
As we've just witnessed, the largest single day of migrant crossings, and border enforcement, Border Patrol rather, was forced this week to shut down some ports of entry, which caused disruptions in international commerce, Neil.
All right, thank you very much for that, Jackie. And as you said, the numbers are staggering. They get more staggering all the time. Sometimes it's best to just visualize this. We talk about 2,000, 4,000 on a given day and how eye-popping that is. But these are exponentially doubling and tripling and quadrupling in a matter of weeks. For example, on the far left of your screen, how things were looking in these aerial shots that we were always taking of Eagle Pass. That was on November 28th, so shortly after Thanksgiving. Now, we'll go a couple of weeks later on December 12th. The crowds are getting a little longer. The lines are getting a little bit more hard to handle. The processing gets to be a lot more complicated. And of course, today, these record numbers that we're talking about, when you are now in excess of, well, records and numbers we have not seen before. The fallout from all of that with Lieutenant Chris Olivares, the Department of Public Safety in Texas. Chris, you and I talked about this before, but I imagine today's numbers, you might want to write them down in pencil.
Absolutely, Neil. The numbers that we're experiencing now, at least the last couple of days, just speaking with Border Patrol agents, this is by far the worst they have ever experienced in terms of illegal border crossings, especially here in Eagle Pass, Texas. Just this morning alone, there were 5,000 currently in Eagle Pass, with another 5,000 that were being held in processing centers. Right now, those centers are at capacity. Border Patrol agents don't have the capacity or the manpower to not only take care of the current situation that's happening here in Eagle Pass, but also the situation that's happening outside of that. The gotaways, the illegal activity that's taking place along the border. All the agents right now are deployed to this current area, and we're supplementing that with our state troopers, with National Guard soldiers. Yeah. But as you can see, Neil, talking about those numbers, this is by far the worst that we have ever experienced along the border. And when you hear some of those comments about as far as that what we're doing right now, what Texas is doing is inhumane, that it's extreme. The only thing extreme right now is the failed border policy that continues to encourage illegal immigration between ports of entry, that puts the lives of illegal immigrants in danger by crossing the dangerous river with children, and also placing their lives in the hands of smugglers. Right now, the federal government has no solution to this current situation. They refuse to acknowledge that there's a crisis at the border, and we're having to step in and take on that.
Mayorkas, what a piece of shit he is. Oh, the border's closed. The border's secure. He's a Nazi.
About it is a little more than a week ago, we were averaging about 2,000 illegal crossings per day. Suddenly on Monday, things doubled, and then it got exponentially larger to this number that we're at today of about 12,600. What happened, Lieutenant? What triggered that?
Well, there could be numerous things that are happening right now. The fact that, historically, the month of December, we usually see a decrease in apprehensions along the border, but this is not the case right now. And I've mentioned it many times. This is not your ordinary border situation. I think we're beyond it being chaos or beyond it being a worse situation. This is a very dire situation along the border. And a lot has to take place with what's happening in Mexico with the transportation. These rail cars that are...
And all the terrorists are coming in through the northern border
into the interior of Mexico,
that they're not even watching.
Across the border. Also, the cartel activity was taking place along the border with cartel.
And all the single Chinese men that are coming in groups of 10 and 15 that are coming in.
The factor is
there is no consequences, there is no deterrence. The fact
You know, you can't leave China without permission.
enact catch and release, we're going to continue seeing this massive flow, and I do anticipate going into the new year, this is going to continue as well.
You know, you're getting a lot of the various groups, the American Civil Liberties Union, other civil rights groups who are protesting this move and filing a lawsuit challenging it. That is the governor's
Yeah.
attempt to have
Yeah, all the
law
bleeding heart,
enforcement police
Democratic
handle this and arrest migrants who come
a-holes.
in and disobey the law. They go on to say that this overrides bedrock constitutional principles and flouts federal immigration law while harming Texans, in particular brown and black communities, going on to say that it's heartless. What do you say?
Well, I say that's inaccurate. You know, we know for a fact that this bill, this new law, has nothing to do with racial profiling. When you have over 150 countries, individuals that are coming from over 150 countries into the state of, into our country, there's no sense of racial.
Whenever the Biden administration is wrong, what's the first thing they cry? It's racist.
Have in Texas by preventing illegal entry into the state of Texas. Now, some of these organizations, to include the ACLU, they should come up with real solutions to protect these migrants, these children that are coming across the border, if they really truly cared about their lives. But that's not the case for now. They want to continue to criticize what we're doing in Texas, but we're going to continue taking historic action. We have to protect our state and the country.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. Again, those are live shots you're getting from
Okay.
Legal Pass that shows some of these thousands who are being processed. And just to
This is the negativity that I'm posting.
nevertheless tracking where they go after they are processed, and the hope and hunch and a
Because America needs to know. I bet you 90% of the people don't even know that this is even happening today.
All right, in the meantime, good luck.
Because the fake news doesn't show it.